Hey there, hello, welcome. What's this? This is the start of something I'm just playing around with, contemplating a new ground. Let's see, if I do it, I'm just figuring out how much I need to make. Oh, look, if I did it there, so okay, I only need a tiny bit more there. I'm just figuring out where it needs to come to this side. Okay, this is handy. I can actually see. So really, basically where the chair comes to. But I've almost run out of red. I'm making this. I know you can buy these things, but when we got rid of our dance stage, you couldn't take it down as the curtain, and they weren't gold and red like that. We had some gold ones and some red ones. And the way we'd put them up, they were supposed to be permanent. And I think somehow Mike had stapled them onto some batten over an edge or something, but you couldn't get them down without pulling them apart. So there's frugal me, saving as much as possible that I could, but nothing was joined as curtains still. I just had a few strands, they're all different sizes. I just rolled them up, and they've been sitting in a bag for ages. Or I should have bought you the box that I decorated them with a long time ago. What I was using them for, sorry about the spoon, I'll explain the spoon in a minute. I'm not eating. What I did do and what I was going to use them for was it's a box I've got. It's just over there. Let me get it. Anyone who turns up now think, where have you gone? And I've got loads of stuff on the floor, so I can't get over carefully. I am still here. I am here. Let's get what I did to show you my box. This is what I was going to use them for originally. See how I've covered the box with them? It's just an old cardboard box. And if I keep anything in cardboard boxes, I do like to cover them with something. And I was actually contemplating weaving them, but that worked just fine. So it's always using them up. So I didn't want to waste them. And as I say, they're all different sizes. And I thought, I want a different backdrop, only because what I had up in my lives, you can't really hammer or do anything on this wall because it's really a fake wall. It's wood. Like thin board. And Mike has put one screw in there. I can't remember what I had on there a long time ago, but you can't really nail or do anything on that wall. So there was one screw. Can't remember what I had originally on it. And what I've been using is a very thin bit of bamboo. And you can see in past lives, if you're new here, to see what I was using. They were basically like beach wraps, what you wrap yourself, like chiffon and that kind of material, and different colour ones, like sort of sarong type things. And I was just hanging them over for pretty colours, rather than having, obviously you can see the join of the wall and a plain wall. My original lives, I didn't even face this direction, but you had the length of the room, and I wasn't really happy with that. So I changed the direction of my room because I have two desks, one here where you are now and one in a sort of an L shape here. No, it used to be on the other ones, now on this one. So the only trouble with that bamboo is bamboo's not dead straight. It could only be a small thin one to balance on this screw. So obviously I had a little kink in it. Sometimes you could flip it the other way, but would turn round. And it was kind of this height where the screw is. And I always felt I had to slouch down in order to film. I'm still slouching down a bit because I'm so used to it. So if I'd sat up like this, the top of the bamboo would have been about here. So I was never happy with that anyway. So I wanted to go right up to the top. Now, like this bit of batten or whatever you call it here, that's all along the top as well. So I thought, if I make with all these strips across the top, now I've only used I got, again, scraps like this gold stringy stuff. It's not really thread, it's a cross between string and thread, and it's gold, and I've got oddments of that. So I thought, if I put that across the top with a couple of drawing pins, one each end, that will hold. I can do it in the top bit of batten or whatever. It's only thin stuff like this. Push it in the top. Because it's only stringy thread stuff, it's not heavy. So I did that. It's taken me forever to do this little bit because you have to bend it over, and I've only done it with sellotape to stick it over this stringy stuff because I don't want to glue or anything all the way across. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I didn't want to do anything permanent anyway, but drawing pins, I thought, with the string round. And this has taken me on and off hours and hours and hours, and I haven't got tons left, which is why I wanted to look now and see how much more I needed. I wasn't sure where. Well, I should have realised where my chair is. That's probably what you say. So I do want to go that way a bit more, but I want to cover this up. I have also got another idea, something else I've got. I don't know if this looks too Christmassy. Don't think I've decorated for Christmas because I haven't. Christmas is not allowed decoration until after December the 6th because that is my birthday, and birthdays are separate to Christmas, even though people always gave me, here's your Christmas and birthday present. So I'd only get one thing a year from people. And woe betide if you didn't give them a birthday present, or on their birthday, whenever it was, like, here's your Christmas birthday present. Or sin of all sins was to give me birthday presents, mother, with Christmas wrapping paper. I mean, what's that all about? Anyway, that's another story. So if you've got a December birthday, simps with you. Absolute sympathy with you. The nearer to Christmas it is, talk to me, leave me comments. We'll be the It's My Birthday Not Christmas Club. So I have got a video on this channel that I did maybe a couple of years ago saying it's my birthday and talk about December birthdays and things I like and that kind of thing, get to know me. Yeah, so anyway, I've done this, took me absolutely hours, as I say, just wrapped it over the stringy stuff, sellotaped it all. It's hard to do it because of the weight of it. They are too long. Well, some are long, some are short. I do have a little table here. Oh, look, I can move you now. So I do have a little table here. So it's really only got to go down to just behind that. Now, right now, because I was about to do my live, I had to just get up there and see how much I needed. I don't know if you can see, but behind there's you see all my mess on the floor. It's all scrolled and rolled up because some bits are long. There's a big heap of it. So yes, I could cut it down and maybe then I've got enough for length for more red bits. But then should it be the full length? Because behind me is the whole wall. And now I don't think I've got enough for full length bits. Or should I? Perhaps then I should move this bit over here because it's the longest bit. So I might do that. I think I'll move this bit behind me, which is the full length. And then whatever I've got left can go behind there. I might do that. It's terrible trying to do it. And also, while I was doing it, I was trying to hurry up, and I'm a mod on someone's channel that I went on. They finished about 5 o'clock because here now it's 5:30. So half an hour before mine starts, they normally finish. So I do try and go on there because I'm a mod anyway. I like to try and do my mod duty when I'm available. And so I thought I'll sort of half do it, and I have to balance it on a bar stool. I can't just sort of sit here and do it because the weight of it and it all falls off. So I've got like a high bar stool. I'm putting stones on it to weigh it down as I'm working on the next bit. And then I just came over to do a bit of moderating, and Mr. Colin Waffles, one of my cats, ran in rolled in a whole lot, you know, I said where it was all trailing, rolled in a whole lot of it, tossed it all around because I was trying to keep it quite straight, tossed the bottom all around, grabbed an end and ran off with it. So there's actually, oh, I can see there's a bit missing here now. This bit, he ran off and the kitchen's just there, and he went running off down the kitchen with trails of this stuff. So hence why I thought, right, let's at least get that up, because he knew it was all there then, sort of piles of the end on the floor. And I thought, he's going to be back. So I thought, well, at least get it up, have a look, see how I feel it looks on the screen. As I say, it's not Christmas decorations. Is it showbiz or is it too Christmassy? What do you think? If you watch it back later, put in the comments below what you think of it. As I say, I do have one more idea, but I'd have to put it up with drawing pins. It's a tablecloth my nan bought me. She's no longer with us. She's the one I'm reading her autobiography on my other channel. So it's got its own playlist. If you're interested in my nan's story, she was born in 1918 and it's her life. Funny bits, sad bits, scary bits, all sorts in there. And I'm reading it. So it's, I think the playlist is just called something about my nan's autobiography, something like that. So that's on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, my other channel. So I was saying about that. Oh, my nan bought me this tablecloth for here, and because I've got a really big dining table in the sun lounge, and she bought me this really pretty one. It's one of those that's so pretty and so nice you don't want to use it and ruin it. So I put it out, but I don't use it as a tablecloth. And it's white and it's got all gold stars all over it, very faint. And I kind of would like to put that up there, but I don't want to put drawing pins in it. And I think it's too short to kind of do it and hang a bit over. So that is my other plan. But this is good, I feel, because it's using up waste. So I think in some respects, I mean, when I think how long that little bit's taken me, I've got to do at least 2 more of that. Firstly, I don't know if I've even got enough in total. We'll see. But let me know. Give me your comments. Oh, thanks for more thumbs up. Thank you very much. Always like to see those. Always makes me smile. So I think I'll probably stick with this. As I say, I've got no other use for it other than what I showed at the beginning of this live, what I've been using it for. But there's tons of this, and I think it'll be all right and make use out of it. Plus, it will reflect this backlight I've got on, because doing the YouTube web camera lives, the light is pretty poor, the lighting. I can't go and buy special lighting or whatever. I've got just a desk lamp on that hangs over the top a little bit. It's not actually in quite the right position, but I can't angle it any better than it is now. So I think it'll be all right. As I say, I'm just concerned it might be a bit too sort of Christmassy looking. Everyone's going to think, oh, that's nice, you put up a different background for Christmas. No. No. So that's that, really. That's what my day's been today. Plus, I did 2 more olive trees. If you know, I gave them a really hard prune back, more than a prune, a chop down last year. And this year there were a few that didn't get fully done, and I've been doing those. But I also want to go through every tree again. I'm working backwards this time. So the ones that were done last time, as in didn't get the full treatment, or there were other reasons they didn't get done, I've started that end, and I started in the lower olive grove this year, and I'm working my way back, and I want to do every tree, even if it just needs a bit more of a prune or a bit more of the middle taken out, or we've got a lot of the stems that come from the trunk. Loads of those this year, and we've never really had that, but that shows how much the tree really does benefit from those good cutbacks that I did. So I did 2 more of those. I'm kind of now, there's a couple more random ones that other people did last year, the workaways, and they need more cutting back because they were a little bit afraid to go too crazy with them. So apart from those, I'm really mostly just doing a normal prune now. And I will film more of it when they're all done. And it's like, wow, they look like little baby trees. Some I've had to leave as in really long branches coming out. They come out too far, but all the greenery's on the end. So now if I cut those branches back, yes, they will grow more green, but I'd rather have a bigger crop with what's the length of where all the green is on the end. And then next year, when more inner green comes, those long branches, you'll see when I film them, the longer branches will cut back, so they'll be smaller trees again. So yeah, I've done 2 more of those. I finished the lower olive grove. That was done a little bit back. So now I'm in the upper olive grove, which is the other main area of olive trees, but we have many more in other areas, but they're a bit more random. So once I get this upper olive grove done, I kind of feel I've done not most of it, but I feel like, yes, yes. So there's that. What else? Update on, I used to do 2 different lives. I probably will go back to doing the other live I used to do on Mondays. Monday used to be all sorts of subjects and topics. So I'll talk to you a little bit about something about gardening, a little bit about something about Cyprus, something of interest, all sorts of things. So I had different themes and I enjoyed that, but it was hard work to kind of prep for it and think, oh, what am I going to do? And look things up to read you and show you and things like that. I probably will go back to that. And then my Wednesday lives at the same time were more like this, catch up and chit chat a little bit more, which didn't need any thought or preparation, apart from what I try and do is if something happens during the week that I think, oh, I'd share that. I do try now to write it down, just write olive trees or something to remind me, because I was getting to the stage with my catch-ups. I'm like, oh, what have I done? What have I got to say? And this is a good thing for you if you write Christmas letters, say annual letters to relatives or friends and that kind of thing. And you always sit down to write them or type them or whatever you do and think, oh, what did we do? During the year, if you've got a calendar, that's quite handy. I don't know how many people have calendars now, but if you don't, just a bit of paper hanging somewhere, every time you do something fairly significant, write it on this bit of paper that's pinned somewhere so that when you come to write your Christmas letter, you've got everything. You've got everything there. I went to someone's wedding and we landscaped our garden. You know, whatever you did, write it down. And when you get to write that Christmas letter, my goodness, it is so easy because you just get this sheet out and you've got it all there. Hey, Blue, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you're feeling somewhat better, as better as you can feel, even if you feel a bit more inside yourself. Yeah, so that's my tip of the day, basically. If you always get to this stage where you have to write a letter, or maybe you make a long phone call or a Skype or something, you're like, oh, what have I done? Just as you go, have a bit of paper somewhere and just write down one day at a time. Bless you, Blue. Bless you. Git says, Git says, you're like, what? Git says is what you say when someone sneezes in Cyprus. Bless you, Git says. I'm not calling you something. Yeah, so that was my tip there. So basically, I always thought I'm not going to have enough to say of catch-up update. And then I have so much that it's just, well, part of it was I wasn't feeling like organising something for the Monday lives anyway for some time. So I thought I'll catch up. And there is just so much to chat about. So there. Hey, Squirrel's World. And am I right in thinking, Squirrely, that your name channel, it went to Squirrel's World, I get that, but I'm sure I saw it said something else, Shell's World. Did I see that as well, or is it me being me? I'm sure I saw. Oh, there you go, Squirrel's World. Oh no, Squirrel's World. I thought I should. Yes, see, Dawn's very observant. You might think I'm not on your channel, but I am. So yes, changed it back. Ah, there you go. There you go. So that's what I've been doing with those. I've got some carobs. I've still got to do some. They sit here on my desk because I think, oh, when I'm doing a live, I should do some. Got to get more carob seeds out. I've got some more okra seeds to get out. And I think I told you last live, I've now got added to my seed giveaway quince. Did I say that last time? I've got quince seeds now. So I actually remembered to add that into the video where if you're selected as the recipient, you see it in my community post each month, and then it says to go on this video, and at the bottom of the video I keep the list up to date of what seeds you can say you want. You can have all of them. Some people just pick a few things, some like, but don't feel, oh, I can't have them all. You can have them all. I've got tons. I wouldn't put them up if I didn't have tons, basically, if anything. Yeah, so don't forget, everybody, to look at that. Oh, that's going to be Thursday's the 1st. I try and do it on the first day of the month, put it up. It depends what I'm doing, but it should be on the community post either on Thursday or very soon afterwards. And it's always a picture of seeds. It's the same picture every month. So if you're only going on each month on my community post to see who's the recipient, it's the same picture, so you could just scroll and find that. That comes around really quick, actually. And Dale was the last recipient. I feel like I've literally done those, but no. And yes, I waited to see Anne's video when she said she's received them, because everyone keeps going on about how much sellotape I use. I need investment in sellotape. The reason is I'm trying to camouflage seeds going through the post as much as possible. And I literally tape the seed bags. They're all seeds I've grown and harvested. So they're not bought seeds. They're all things I've harvested. So when I say seed bags, I've put them in. We actually found the bags that Josh sent me, and Mike found where you could get them from. So I assume that's a good way to send them. And I literally tape, the seeds are in the bag airtight, and then I kind of tape across the bag so the seeds can't move in the post, basically. And if you're someone who says, yes, you want a lot of seeds and tell me all the ones you want, and you want a lot, I've got to kind of flatten them out. So the bags have got to be taped so the seeds don't move in the bag, and taped all separately spread out. You'll see how they come if you ever get them. You'll all get a turn. You just might have to wait some time. I can only do 1 month at the moment. Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, let's see if Anne comments on. Oh, she probably won't, because she didn't ask for too many seeds. Hey, Tony Tim Posey, how are you? Nice to see you. Lovely to see you here. And don't forget, guys, if you want to put something about your channels when you're here, this is your community post. This is your area to promote your channel. You're my community. All I ask is you only promote each other's channels that are actually active on my channel. So if you want to put something about your channel, about a video you've got up, that may well attract people to come and have a look at your channel, particularly if it's a channel name that doesn't really tell anyone what your channel content is. So feel free, guys, if you want to type something in. So there's that. What else? I've started my indoor garden. You know, I got a donation for shelves. Thanks for those thumbs up. Thank you. It catches my eye when it changes. I don't know why. Or sometimes I see over that side, if someone actually gives me a message, you know how you highlight if you do the app and you put my channel name on this, it comes up bright orange and that like, whoa, what's that over there? Catches my eye. So I do see the thumbs up. Yeah, I got a donation and I bought some shelves. You've seen that and you'll see again. I'm filming, but I want quite a bit of progress before I actually put it up. But I'm putting all the dates on it. And last year we put some wood across them. Mike gave me old bits of pallet wood. Well, I've got them the other direction now. And there's more shelves between. So rather than buying loads of shelves, I've just got 2 shelves. And then all this pallet wood between that makes 4 shelves, although I haven't put one on the bottom because I want to put some other containers growing there. And I've got multiple space now just from 2 lots of shelves. I have planted all my spring seeds. It's not even now winter yet. I've planted all my spring seeds. I'm trying to bring it forward each year. I started last year growing just after my birthday, so that was December, so that was just before Christmas. I actually started last year, but not everything, just the things I knew would grow early here, such as tomatoes and peppers. But this year I've planted a little bit of everything, all bar anything that I would plant straight in the ground, such as sweet corn, things like that I wouldn't transplant personally. So I've planted a little bit of everything. My goodness, I've filmed it so you'll see how many. They're all in plastic containers. So it's what I've always used is like the takeaway see-through plastic containers. And one of my friends gave me containers with lids, plastic. And yeah, there's quite a lot. And all the soil is all my own homemade compost. I don't buy soil or compost or anything like that. It's all my own homemade stuff. That's what I use it for every year. I don't put it on the garden. I use it for starting or in pots or anything like that. So I've started all that off, and I did write the dates down. So handy filming from here. If you was on at the very beginning, you'll see I went off for a little walk. You have to play that back. I sowed them on the 23rd of November, and already 27th of November I can already see quite good radish. It's almost like cress, sort of the size of cress. And the broccoli is already coming up, and some lettuce. The Rosa lettuce, which is like the dark reddy one, that always seems to grow quicker than the other lettuce. I don't know why, but for me, that's always grown first. So, yeah, it's funny because I said to Mike the day after, oh, is anything growing yet? Let me look. And he's laughing. And then the next day I said to him, oh, you can see like little greenage before the actual shoots come up. It looks like almost mossy, doesn't it? And I was like, oh, and yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. Got stuff growing already. So that was a big job. Got quite tired doing that. I really did. I wanted to get it all done. And as I say, I've literally put a bit of almost everything in there. Oh, I planted some potatoes. I said about that, didn't I think in my last live. Some manky old things that I didn't even know we had, and Micah bought them and he said, could you plant these out? But I've had to plant them in the net bag. That's how they'd already grown their root stalky things through the net, literally embedded in the net. So that'd be interesting. I don't think they'll grow, but we'll see. What else? The walnuts I've put them in mulch. If you was around on my last live, I was reading out my notes I made because I always forget which way up to plant those. It's not the pointy end up, it's the flat end up. And I remember that now because I remember thinking flats are up, like a block of flats are up. So the flat end up. you'd look at it and you would think the pointy end up, like that's going to be a shoot, but no. And you have to overwinter them in mulch. And I've got loads of mulch round under one tree. It gets really mulchy. So I use that as my mulch every year. Oh, thanks, Blue. Blue's putting links up. See, guys, if you come on my lives, when we've got our good moderators on, someone normally puts your channel up, so that's a bonus. Thanks, Blue. You're awesome. Check out the About section and lives. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people still don't know they're separate. A lot of people still don't know that when you click on videos, the shorts aren't there anymore. I told you like about 3 years ago that they were going to separate them all. And everyone's like, no, they're not. No. Hello. I comes in when I can. Same with me. You know that, squirrels. Quite often I've popped on yours and you've just finished because of our time differences, but you know I'm there when I can. Or I like to be active in a chat, so sometimes I'm doing something at the same time, but I'm normally over there doing something. The whole garden getting redone. Oh, you know that's going to trap me. I like looking at what you're growing. You do great. Yeah, so I've put them in 4 pots, I can't remember, but I've done flower pots of mulch. I've left those outside, obviously, because mulch likes the atmosphere, and then you leave them in there to like overwinter, and then spring you take them out and they should have a little shoot growing, and then you pop them up like you would anything else. So I've done that. Yes, exactly. Blue, share your own link, my love. You know I always tell you to do that when I remember. The mods are the hardest working people, and a lot of channels don't like mods to put their own link up, which I think is so sad. They're the ones putting everyone's link up. So I always say on my channel, mods, you're your own first priority. If you're working, then you need to put your link up. Absolutely, Tiny Tim. Absolutely. And Blue, don't forget, put all your channels up if you want to put all the separate ones. I always do that with Shirley. I always tell Shirley to put her 2 channels up. So not this Shirley, not this Shirley. And Shelley as well. Shelley's got 2 channels. Who else? I've got quite a few people that have got multiple channels. So yeah, Shelley, I always say when she mods for me, put both your channels up, because to be honest with you, I don't watch as often her main channel. I watch her channel because her main channel's her and her husband, Scott. And I always say, oh, okay then. I know people don't like to do it because they say that's bad etiquette, but it's only bad etiquette from those who state these rules in the first place, you know. It's like people don't like people to promote their own channel in a chat. That's what YouTube's all about, is community, and a lot of people forget community value of YouTube, so we have to keep that alive. So that's the walnuts, they're in mulch, and then as I say, in the spring you take them out and they've got the little shoot going. I said about the quince seeds, I picked all the quince. We got 3 trees, but 2 I grew from seed a few years back from my quince. So only 1 is big enough to actually have crop, and I picked all the quince off, and I made, I think, 4 quince pies, like apple crumble, quince crumble, made quince crumble, but we like to put another fruit in with the quince. Sometimes we put our apricots if they're ready at the time I'm making quince pies. But this year Mike fancied peaches with them, so he actually went and bought a tin of peaches, and I just like quince with a bit of something else. So I did quince and what's the thing I just said? Peaches. Quince and peaches crumble. And I made 4. They're not individual, they're like big ones. And we've got 3 in the freezer, and we've had one of those. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Blue. Yeah, my other channel, I sometimes say on my other channel, but some people don't know. Sometimes it's under Alive, not today. The only thing under today's description is my PayPal, which I've also put at the top here to if anyone wants to assist in any way with the vet bill. I have put about that, which we're going to the update of that when I get down to it. I'm trying to go down the order of what I've written so I don't miss anything out. Yeah, so my freezer's got apple pies in, and it's got quince crumble, apple crumble, and apple crumble and quince crumble. Hey, Jasper Pudding Face, nice to see you. I don't like to ask, but any more videos? I also harvested my mint. So squirrels, if you watered yours, like I said, just keep watering it. Very soon you should start to get some leaves back again. And it turns out a lot of people don't know what mint sauce is. So I did a video. I can't remember if that's on this channel or the other channel, because people didn't know what mint sauce were. They were all asking me what mint sauce was. You normally have it on lamb. It's like you cut the mint up. I keep on saying mince. You cut the mint up really small as you can get it, and you literally put white vinegar in normally with it and a little bit of water. Oh, let's recap. You cut the mint up really small. You put sugar on it and leave it for 5 minutes. That is the key to good mint sauce, because if you leave the sugar on it for 5 minutes, that infuses and brings out more of the mint flavour. Then you put an amount of vinegar on it, white vinegar. I won't give you measurements. I've got that in my recipe because it depends on, I think it's for 50 grams of mint sauce, you put 3 tablespoons of vinegar in, and then you put water on as well, and it all infuses. It makes almost paste, if you like a paste, and you can keep it. If you keep it for like a year or more, then you mustn't put the water in with it. And the mint must be dry if you're going to store it. So don't pick it where it's been raining if you're going to store it for a year or so. There is that. Tim says, Blue, glad you did share your channel. I know I was sub. Well, I am now for sure. Yeah, it's always worth checking sometimes. It's like if I suddenly see someone on that's not been on for a while, I know I'm sub to them, it makes me think to check, because I know sometimes you can get unsub from channels. Janine says, not the moment. Few things going on my to-do list. Oh, bless you. Hope things are going better for you. Lou says this is Dawn's other channel. Olive Farm Retreat, Cyprus. I've actually been working on my other channel today. I've done a lot of work for that today. It's my dancing channel, and I'm trying to do some different stuff on there. For example, today it's not going to be posted yet. You know me, I save videos, but I wanted to do the history of the outfits of belly dancing, as in the skirts, and about the coins on the belly dancing skirts. So I did a little bit on that. I don't go too in depth with it, but a brief history, let's say, of things. So it's interesting rather than bogging down. So I've been editing that. I've also edited today, filmed another funny video for Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. A little bit different, something I'm trying a bit different there, because everyone liked my Gerald the Talking Gorilla one. Everyone's had a laugh with that. So another comedy one, but not with me dressing up this time. No, several characters. So you'll see that at some point. I did 3. What was the other one I did? This is how bad I am. I'm like, I've just been doing three videos and I can't remember. What's the other one I did? I've only just been editing. Can't remember. Something else I've edited. Oh well. I did 3. I've sat here and done 3. It was the dance one. Or it'd be something for this channel. Did I just make for this channel? Oh, there. The Vakra. If any of you know what Vakra is, probably not. It's the traditional clothes of Cyprus, what the man wears. They're like pantaloon things. They're not actually pantaloons. And if you've seen my videos of when we go to the wine festival, you see as you go through the entrance, it's really huge, this sort of statue thing they put up of a man wearing the traditional Cypriot clothes. So I tell you about that. I also tell you about the god of wine and vine, Disnus. So I've done all the history of him, a brief history of him, his story, and why he has 2 little tiny goat horns. And something else I did in that video. I covered 3 things on that: the statue, the man, the clothes, something else, but a little bit more like history there. So there was that. Tim says, if Dawn keeps going, she will have 365 channels, 1 for each day. No, I'm done. I'm done on the channels. More for the fact I can never remember how you do a channel. Luckily, I started them all at the same time, but didn't put content on them all at the same time. That's the sort of thing Mike has to do. You know me. If I do something regularly, like the editing, I can do it. If I maybe for a month didn't edit a video, I really wouldn't be able to remember how to do it. I have to continually do something so I don't have to think how to do something. As soon as I've got to think about something, I'm lost, totally lost, which is why I have routines. I'm not someone who really likes routines, but why I have my plan. I won't remember what I do on what day. Like I said, I just knew I'd done another edit today. I'd sat here and done some editing after I'd done the olive trees, and I couldn't remember. But I remembered it now. I was looking on my board thinking if I rubbed it out or not, but I put Vakra down the bottom because I want to remember what to put in the title when I put it up. So, yeah. So that was that. So mint sauce I made. Mike actually has it on his chicken. I don't like it. Hey, Ashley, how are you doing? Nice to see you, my friend. How's my favourite Piggles? Update on the workaway situation. Oh my goodness. I'll just carry on from where I left off. So if you don't know, all the ones who've said they're coming and not coming, the last one, if you recall, he was going to come, and then he said he was coming the next day to Cyprus. He's definitely coming to Cyprus. Can he come and help at our olive farm? He was coming the next day. So I replied, yes, as long as you realise we've got solar, so therefore your shower is only solar based, blah, blah. Yes, he's definitely coming. Heard nothing else from him. So I thought, oh, he's applied to multiple places and gone off to where they're going to feed him and whatever else. Great. No problem. Then I can't remember how much later, several days, he then says, right, I'm still coming, but what I'm doing, I'm over here in Cyprus and I'm going to do something there. Then I'm going to go over, we're here, he's there in Cyprus. Then I'm going to go over there and do, I think he's doing free diving, as in jumping off rocks and that, free diving. And then when I've done that and something else he wanted to do, he said, then I'm going to carry on that way and come to yours. So I said, we're actually here. You're here now, going that way. So I said, no, like we're here between here and here. And I said, that's great, but if you could give me just some kind of clue as to how long you're going to be, as in days, weeks, just so I got some idea. And I put, because we get let down by so many people that say they're actually coming, we now don't even bother to get the room ready or clean the room, do anything until we know you're literally on your way. So if you could give us just a rough guide, obviously, you know, he's not on a schedule, just a rough idea. I mean, are we talking a couple of days, couple of weeks? What we talking? Had nothing else. But we have had some rain. Oh, yes. We've had some rain. And as Mike said, if he's there, come over here to do all these exciting, adventurous things, he wouldn't be allowed to do some of them if like weather's rough. So therefore, he's not going to come back just to help out. He's come to do these things. So Mike said, well, obviously the weather where he is it's worse that way. So he's probably going to stay there until he can do his activities. So he can't really let us know. But, you know, I would have just mentioned that if I was asked. Luckily, we've picked the olives, as you know, but he doesn't know if we picked them or not. So it could be we're waiting on that, or we could have had another offer, you know. So I know it's difficult. They're not on a schedule, but I have a list of jobs here on my board. Me and Mike sit down and we go through. I know what I need doing, but I put them in an order. I always think if someone comes, and this is another thing, you don't always know how long they intended on staying for. So I always think, well, if they only do one job, what is that one job I really want done? So I I put first what I want done, prioritize. So I do that, and then I say to Mike, right, what would you like done? Doesn't mean it's going to be first, but it's going to filter in what I want done, because it's more important for someone to do something I need doing, because Mike can do things, obviously, but sometimes I will slot those in. So I've done that. Yeah, so they're the jobs there. I have said to him that following our conversation on my live last time and Blue's little bit of input for me when I was saying about what happens if someone stays over Christmas when we don't feed them, I would feel awful not inviting them for Christmas. And Blue said, but you said in your write-up you don't feed them. And I thought that was yes. So I've actually put that you are welcome to come, but we don't have any volunteers staying here over Christmas and January. So I now say that as well. So yeah, Blue gave me the sort of idea of just making that point. So I know he can't be here Christmas and January. So the longer he leaves it, the shorter time we're going to have him. He sounds pretty good, though. He sent me a link to a couple of videos of him, and he does sound like a great guy. So I do hope he comes. I think he will, but as I say, difficult for him to say because of the weather, and I know what he's doing. But he needs to get his directions sorted out a bit more. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Hopefully that will be good. We've got some really, really good jobs, things I really want doing that will make a huge difference to me. So I'll keep you updated as always. Let's see the chat. Glad you're here, Ashley. Hope you're doing better today. Hi, everyone in chat. I'm doing okay. Thanks. Hope you're all well. That's great to hear. So there's that update on that. The update on the cat. I have put at the top of the chat here my PayPal, and underneath my PayPal, because we have paid the vet bill. It may be ongoing further payments. We're not sure yet, but we've paid up to date on the vet bill. And that basically was our Christmas money has gone. Not that we do a lot for Christmas, but we now have nothing left spare because Mike had to buy a car battery just prior to this cat episode. So we now have no Christmas funds, and my birthday is on the 6th of December. I kind of inside my head had a little plan that I would have liked to have done, but that's out now. I don't care. I mean, yes, funds would be great. If any of you can help with the vet bill, that would be awesome. Even €1 each, that would easily cover it. If all my subscribers paid me €1 each, that would be pretty awesome. Don't think there is a minimum in PayPal that you can give. I don't think there is. I forget what percentage they take, but I know it's the best donation you can do. We looked at all of them, so I always prefer, if anyone's donating, I think they do it via our PayPal, because that's our best return of actually getting what you give. So yeah, even the euro will be helpful. Yeah, as I say, we don't do too much for Christmas, but a few little treats and sweets and that we would have liked to have done, but I don't care because my cat is alive. Yay. Little Kit. And the vet said, I cannot believe this cat is alive. So that is the good news. So I'm not like, oh, poor me, I've got no money for Christmas or to do anything for my birthday. I'm just saying, if you can help to pay that, that would give us a little bit of money back in our pockets. But I'm not doing a sob story. I had to cut the last video pretty short. If you catch the end of the last live, I was in pieces. I absolutely was in pieces. The vet cannot believe the cat is alive. Quick update, anyone who didn't see it. It was Kit, the little, well, it's the one I call Digby now because he's absolutely swollen up. But he was the tiny kitten that arrived here some time ago. And he's so lively and adorable. He's the sweetest cat we have ever known. He really is. He's no problem in any shape or form. He's loving. He sits up here and he puts his head here for you to give him lots of little kisses. He's so lovely. And, oh, okay. Okay, Ash, we'll shout, Ashley. You and your modern gadgets, Ashley. Yeah, so he was all fine, and even up to the night before, he's active. He runs up trees, and he's so active. You've seen him in clips. You've seen him in little bits of the video, and I'd put out that Meet the Cat one before, so you see a bit of him anyway, and you get the idea. And you've seen him and Mr. Colin Waffles in that Meet the Cat video. And they're just like best buddies. They so are. They literally never leave each other. It's very rare that they're apart. And he was fine. And Mike feeds them breakfast in the morning. And he got up and he said Kit didn't want his breakfast. Now Kit eats anything. You know, he was eating the olives, do you remember? For a long time. So it's not the olives because he's been eating those for a long time. And he eats literally anything. Mike said he didn't have his breakfast, which was, Now, he wasn't unwell at that point. Excuse me. He wasn't unwell at that point at all. And then I can't remember what time of day it was, but it was afternoon. And he suddenly had a fit, like a seizure, a really bad seizure. And I'm the ace of seizures. And it was short, and he had that glassy eye look afterwards and, oh, where am I and whatever. And I said to Mike, I think he's had a seizure. And he's like, no. And I was like, Anyway, they went out in the garden. So he was still active. He went out in the garden and he went on that area where we got the stone table. And it's got like a semicircular patio raised one side. It's got the big carob tree in the middle. And I just looked out and kept my eye on him like, no, I think he had a seizure. And he's suddenly upside down. Now, all our cats do a lot of rolling around, but he was upside down and his legs were going like a dog, you know, a dog that's got an itch and they sort of move their paws like that. And I said, Mike, he's having a seizure. And I had no shoes or anything on. And Mike's doing some building work out there, so I needed shoes. So I ran and grabbed my shoes, put them on, went out, and he was gone. I was like, where's he gone? I had no idea where he was. Now, he couldn't have rolled off there because I've got pot plants all round, so he wouldn't have rolled off. But Mike had his car round the back of that raised area because he's taking slabs out the car. Yes, we can drive our car around our land. Pretty cool. So he had the car round there. And I thought, it can't have gone far. I only grabbed slip-on shoes and put them on. And he was underneath the car having another seizure. And all I could do, and I know all about seizures, what you should and shouldn't do. But I wanted to make sure he was breathing properly afterwards and all that. So I dragged him out. Don't tell me don't move them. I know all about seizures. So I grabbed him out. Then I brought him inside after he'd got over it. And he just seemed like, oh, and got up and carried on. And I wasn't happy about him being outside because he was vulnerable then. So I took him inside, and this is all easily within an hour. He had 4 more. That's astronomical. The vet couldn't believe how many he'd had in a short space of time. He had 4 more, and each one of those was more bad. They were getting progressively worse. In respect of, he started like making this like as if he was in pain while he was having the seizure. Now I quickly went on YouTube, and I've got a vet site there, and the vet was saying when they're making that meow or noise, or if it's a dog, if they make a noise and you think they're crying, they're actually in mid-seizure. They can't hear you at that point. The crying is not pain. They are gone. They're out of it completely. And I'm glad I knew that. And I know, I keep saying I know seizures. But I know to time it. And as they were getting bad, I was filming them. And I said to Mike, right, he's been in this one like nearly 5 minutes now. And what you do, if any of you don't know, put them on a towel. Now, Mike went to touch him and he bit him. Now, Kit doesn't bite, but they say they can do that mid-seizure as well. So I put him on a towel, and that also helps their limbs if they're having a seizure. And he was in the car still seizuring. So we went to our vet. He's a great guy. He knows us very well. He's sort of a friend of ours. And we took him in the car. Luckily, it's not too far away. And thank goodness Mike got his battery. I think it was a couple of days before, or we wouldn't have had a car. So we got him in the car, went to the vet, and I said, he's having seizures. He goes, when did he have the last seizure? I said, he's in one now. He went, oh, right. So I put it on the table. He goes, yeah, definitely. He said, you really, you know what you're talking about. And I said, right, here's the film of it. Thank goodness for my phone, guys. Thank goodness for my phone. So I said, here's him. And he looked, he went, no chance of survival, because he's had so many short space of time. As you know from me, it affects your brain and bits die off. And he said, right, I'll take blood. And he's going through all the things. And I said, well, I know it can be viral, it can be poison, it can be kidney or liver problems, it can be a brain problem. I'm telling the vet, and I was going through all these things saying, I don't think it's this or this or this, because he's been well up to literally that morning. So we got it down to the fact it could be some mild poison. Now, I'm still thinking possibly we've got a lot of farms here that somebody's put poison down, let's say for rats, and then he's eaten a rat. To me, I'm not sure he would still have been alive, though, because then he's ingested that poison. I don't know that. That is a possibility. My thought is because he eats literally anything edible, he's eaten some poison berries. That's my thought. The vet drew blood. I said this on my last live. He drew blood so he can run tests. he knows our financial situation as well. So he said, I'll do my best, what I can do. But obviously there's certain things I've got to do. But he's completely aware of our financial situation. So he said, I'll draw the blood, but I will run every single test possible on the blood. And I said this on my live, as he took the blood, it was black. It was the blackest black you can imagine. And I knew that wasn't good. And he's having trouble drawing the blood because it is thick. And the vet called it marmalade. He said, it's marmalade. He said, this cat has got no hope. And he's very good, this vet, because he doesn't believe in euthanizing animals unless it's really necessary. But if you've got an animal that hasn't got hope, what he says is, well, I'll do this, or give them 24 hours, or whatever he's going to do. And he always says, but if there's no hope, I will automatically euthanize them. So you don't have to have that decision or feel that you've said, put the animal down. He does that every time. And he's also telling you there's not a lot of hope. But you don't then get that call and you have to make a decision, so, or he has to remake that thing. He always says, I'll do what I can, but, and he said to us, the odds are I'm going to have to euthanize him, but I'll do the blood test because I don't know if it's everywhere or if it's just farm animals in other countries, but if an animal suddenly gets something wrong with it, they have to do like, not forensics, but like tests to find out what the problem is. They can't just say, oh, well, something happened to it and it's died, or we put it down. They have to actually have records of what happened to the animal, or if it's an infection that can spread. Now, he kept saying about there are other wild cats around. He was pretty sure it picked up something from another cat. And he said he's actually got a few fleas on him, and we always do our animals with flea and tick stuff and worming. We always do those, and he gives us a special deal on that. And we always do that. So I was like, oh, okay. But then it's been raining here. We've got a little bit of grass. Yes, it's green. I still think he ate poisonous berries, because to me, he looks big because he's fluffy, but he's not like a huge cat. And I feel if he had something too poisonous, he wouldn't have survived it. And the vet said this blood was so awful that normally is a dead animal's blood, not even that bad. So that's why he didn't hold hope. But he said, I'll do the blood test and we'll look at them. And we waited there while he did that. And he said, even if I'm going to euthanize him, I have to give him 24 hours to see if there's any changes. If there's even a slight change of up, then there is a slight hope. He was giving us 50-50, but he said odds are not very likely. And so he ran all the tests. He said also that blood could be liver or kidney disease. Now, as he was so fit, that wouldn't be something that just suddenly happened. So we both kind of ruled that out. But he said there is a problem with the kidney and with the liver, but that could be because of what had occurred. And obviously it messed up his system. So he said, right, and the test he ran, he does this computer printout, and he had run about 20 different, no more than 20 different tests, and he explains it all, what the numbers are and what it should be and everything else. And he said, right, I'll give it 24 hours. As it was, he gave him 48 hours because there was a slight change for the better. So he didn't call us. So we're sitting at home saying, well, is that a good thing that there is a slight change, but he doesn't want to give us hope? Or is it he's euthanized it and we just knew that, but we hadn't obviously paid the bill? So Mike phoned him up and he said, yeah, he said, I gave it 2 days. He said he was showing an up like we thought, but he wanted to wait and see and not give us false hope, because we both kind of said there's no way I mean, when a cat is literally going from seizure to seizure to seizure, and he was bad. He was having really major ones towards the end, but the vet put him on a drip straight away. He had a couple of drips while we were there, and his eyes weren't so glazy after that. So, and the vet said, yeah, he's actually had a little something to eat. He's urinated, and we went to pick him up. We got medication for him for, I think, 2 months. 2 months medication. I think that's to sort of put his liver and kidneys back to rights a little bit. He's got steroids. He's so easy to give the tablets to. I know how to give animals tablets, but I don't like to do it because if they, particularly as he's got to have at least 2 months worth, we got 2 months and then we got to go back or call him between times if there's any issues. But when you're ongoing medication like that, if they don't like the way that you're giving it to them, the tablets, or they kind of get, oh God, the tablet is coming now. So I've got, because he eats so well, I've got a little bit of croissant every morning and I push it in there and squish it all up. And he eats it. A couple of times it's come out, not because he spat it out like animals do, but because he eats so delicately. He's like, it just sort of pops out. And I put it back in another bit of croissant and he eats it. So he's been easy like that. He's very quiet, but he's still active. He's not like lying around. I was so shocked how different he was. So he's not lying around, although he sleeps a lot. But my goodness, he was straight in and looking around and kissing Mr. Colin Waffles. I was like, Waffles was so sad, wasn't he? He really was. He was crying all the time, looking for him. So yeah, he's on steroids for 2 months, but that's probably ongoing. But as I say, if he goes downhill at all, we've got to take him straight back. If there's any sign of seizures, obviously straight back. But he thinks now the seizures were purely because the blood was all clotting up and sort of gone to his head and there was no oxygen getting through. And that's why as soon as he gave him the drips, it was thinning out the blood. So it was almost like, I think if we'd left him any longer, he would have either got brain damage or he would have been like like a pressure cooker. And it was all building up, and that's what caused the seizures. So neither me or the vet think the kidney or the liver was the issue, although it became an issue. So yeah, as I say, after 2 months, if we haven't had any problems with it, we've got to go back, and I guess he's going to do more tests and just check if there's any underlying problems, because he said it could have caused some brain issue or whatever, you just don't know. But he seems okay, as I say, lying around. But Mike was so, like, when we brought him back, I said, oh, is he allowed outside and all that? He goes, yeah. So it wasn't like he's got an illness, it was something had happened to him. So he was not back to normal, but we thought he would be much more lying around and sleeping, and and he's straight back with his food. So yeah, ongoing in some shape or form. As I say, we have paid the bill, but we've got nothing left, because he said, he came and he said to us, I know your situation. I haven't paid you for my time at all. So that was pretty good. So we're so grateful. We had to pay for like the machinery and obviously the medication and that kind of thing. So he's really good to us. He really is. So yeah. But as I say, could be an ongoing thing, might not be. We'll see. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Ashley with his modern earphones. Angel, my cat has seizures, hasn't had one for ages though. Yeah, as he said, it's not the seizures weren't a problem for him, as in he wouldn't have had seizures if he didn't have whatever happened to him and caused this blood problem. So he said not very likely he will ever have them again. As I say, it was just like almost a pressure cooker of the blood thickening and everything else. Piggles had some sort of fit a while ago now, scary at the time, came down to eating coated chicken. Ooh. See, that's it. We don't give them anything weird. They have a bit of the normal chicken when we cook. We have one chicken a week and we cook it for Sunday dinner, and then the rest of the chicken we use throughout the week in other forms, as in with pasta or whatever. And on my pizza, I make pizza and I put the chicken on the pizza. They have the tuna juice, the like brine or water there. They have that. They obviously the croissant, but very careful. I've had dogs, Yorkshire Terriers, and you have to be so careful with them. But how can you, when they go out and about, how can you watch what they eat? So I'm still thinking poisoned in some shape or form. Blue says berries sound more like it than rat poison. That's more likely to cause bleeding. Oh, that's true. More likely cause bleeding seizure. And as I say, I think if they'd had an animal that had had poison, that would have killed him, surely. Yes, I didn't think of that, Blue. That's true. It would cause bleeding. Yeah, and it eats away the insides, doesn't it, the poison? And he said there's no internal damage in that respect. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Did you say blood clotting? Like thickening his blood. Don't you have scorpions and snakes there? Their venom tends to do that. I thought snakes was a possibility at first, and I sort of looked all around for holes, and here they have big fangs. It's not like a pinprick. And he looked as well, but he said it wouldn't have been how it manifested. And the test said no. The test said no, not snake bite. And here they would have been dead as well, straight from that as well. But yeah, that was a good thought there, Blue. But no, that was ruled out quite soon. Cool. Yeah, out here, I mean, even big dogs die pretty quickly with the snake bites. So, and he did say the way it manifested, not. Yeah, it was black blood. I think that was the clue there, that the colour of the blood. And he said he's never seen anything like that. And he can't believe the cat was still alive. And as I say, Kit must be a fighter. Must be a fighter. There was no way. There was no way he was going to leave us. So, yeah, really, really pleased. Really pleased for that. So, yeah, as Mike says, it's the most amazing cat. They're all lovely and they've all got different personalities, but there's nothing wrong with him. He's perfect in absolutely everything he does and is, and he's no trouble, and he doesn't make loads of noise, or he just runs around like a loony and goes round and round. You go to put food in his bowl, he's like a little dog. He goes round and round and round and round. It's just so funny. So, yeah, really happy. So as I say, I don't care about anything. We got our cat back, and we came back and from actually picking him up, and we had a really bad storm. We've had an electrical storm, and we had like thunder and lightning and rain coming down, and I was like, oh, we got winter. And it was the most horrible day. It was dark, and this was like in the afternoon. It was the most gruesome day. And Mike said, oh, it's a horrible day. And we picked him up. I said, it's a glorious day. Oh dear. Yeah, so really pleased. And thank everyone who gave me really nice messages, and that was really lovely. So I hadn't been that active on YouTube. Mike came and just sat indoors when he was at the vet. He said, I don't want to do anything. I just don't want to do anything. And I was like, no, no. And then when we got him back, we celebrated with a glass of wine. So yeah, that was really yeah. So I'll give up anything to have my boy back. Oh, and I said to him, you can watch my Meet the Cat video now, because it was so sad, because I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I've got quite a lot of footage of Kit and Mr. Colin Waffles playing, and they chase a salamander around and play with it together. It's quite a really cute video, and kissing each other, and there's all the cats in it, but that bit with them is really funny. And at the end, I've got footage that Mike was sitting on the sofa, and Mr. Colin Waffles was all snuggled on one side with him, and Kit was all snuggled in the other side. And I've just put caption up, my 3 boys, and a pan on one, the other, and the third one. And we know which one's the most trouble. Go to hot phone and pop myself on the couch. It's getting really cold in the office now. Yes, you do that. Get a blankie. Have you got your snugglies on? Oh, I tell you what else, I was so upset. I just lived in my snuggles for days. I just lived in them. I was like, getting cold here too. Yeah, today's been nice out. It's the time of year here, it's sort of cool in the morning to about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then about 5 maybe it's like gets cool again, but during the day, it's most days it's pretty nice. Today I think about 4, suddenly this big wind came. It's like it's going to be winter now. As I say, I was out doing the olive trees today, and it was really nice. It's just I wanted to get some editing done, because I've really focus on getting some films edited, because I had lots of notes around. I'm trying to get tidy. I just want to get tidy. So I had bits of paper around, and I was like, right, let's do this video. Then I can put those papers, throw those papers away, and let's do this one. So I had my plan. But I went to do the olive trees, so I did 2, I think. Yeah, 2 olive trees. And I was like, right, I feel like I've done some olive trees. And now I will come and do some editing. I come back, have a blankie now. Oh, nice. Oh, excuse me. Nice blankie. Yeah, blankie. We have moved. Oh, clickbait. We have moved. That's what a certain YouTuber would do. We have moved. We have moved from, we sit in the kitchen at night. We've got a sofa in there. And opposite, we've got a blank area, a spare area. And Mike's put a little put up table thing there. And he has his laptop, because we don't watch TV. We watch computer. So we sit in there in the summer, because you've got great big kitchen windows. You can have those open. You've got a door that end, and the wind blows through, and then you can have the sun lounge, which is over that way, that open, and all the house is aired. And Mike said the other day when we had this bit of rain, right, we're moving into the winter lounge now. So that's kind of, it was the original lounge of the house, but because they built, before we moved here, on both sides, they built the sun lounge one side and the big kitchen and this room the other side. It's now in the middle of the house, and that's the only fireplace, the only form of heating we got in the house, hence why it's the winter lounge. We never sit in there throughout the year, hardly. And so Mike's taken his laptop in there now, and we sit there. We did that yesterday, was the first day. And then if you want to, it gets really cold in winter, because we've still got the original doors of the house. Remember, this winter lounge was the original house. The door into the sun lounge is the original wooden, like back door, I suppose. The door to the garden, it's like the old-fashioned wooden, great big doors. And then into the winter lounge from the kitchen is the front door, the original front door. And that's like a great big old wooden door. If you want to see all this, I keep saying it, the first few videos show you my house, inside my house. So if you want to see, the first couple of videos do actually show you my house. I film in the house, as in, well, obviously I'm in here now. You see little bits of the kitchen, but I don't do tour of my house. I've done that. But I'm someone who likes to see where people live, so they are there. Let's see if I can find them, because that'll be my first couple of videos. So let's see. I think I've put these up before. Someone's asking about them. First one's a welcome one. Second video, shock of our lives, moving abroad to a new house, before and after photos. There's that one. So that one you can have. So before and after. Not that we did a lot. So there's that one. See how quick I can find things with my Word docs. Oh, came off it. Go back on it. And then there's another one. Tin can opener required to open new house and house renovations. Now, the reason it says tin can opener, I really did say that to the estate agent, because the whole outside of the house when we moved here was that like corrugated tin, what some people use for roofing. That was the outside of most of our house. Yes. So I said, I don't need a key. I need a tin can opener. So there's two. So if you want to have a nosy around my house, you can see that. I think I've got pictures I've done more recent of in here. Yes, when I did fairly recently a declutter video in here, sorting this room out. And if you saw it now with all my projects, I'm doing this and some other bits. It's a bit chaotic around here right now. So it's a little bit. And I've bought my exercise bike up here, because when it's winter, I think if it's rainy, I can't be bothered to go down to the studio and use it. So in the winter, I bring it up here. So I have no excuse. I haven't used it since I bought it up here, but it's there. And I've also bought 4 mats up, as in like the rubber gymnastic mats, you know them, that you can put together like a puzzle, the sort of gym mats, so you can pile them all up, but when you want to use them, you can cover a whole floor in them. They're not the small square ones, they're like mega size. So if I lay out, I only need 2. And that's more than my length. That's how big they are. Nosy round your house. The possibilities. I tell you what, Ashley, if you did ever come here, you could really do some funny vlogs. And I'd let you just go off and do whatever you wanted to. You could call it like things like behind the scenes, sneaking around Dawn's house and blah, blah, blah. You could do some real funny things. Go, oh, look, who knew she had that there? Like, I'm sitting here at my desk and you can't see all what I've got on the desk here. You go, look, this is what she's got on her desk. You won't believe it. Or, oh, look what she's got here. That would be so funny. I'm trying to find something funny now. Well, as I say, a bit of a mess right now because I'm mid-project. But yeah, you'll be like, 100 things you didn't know Dawn had. Did you guys see my Q&A that I put up? I asked if anyone had questions. I've done a couple of them now. And the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla asked, what's the weirdest thing that you own? I love doing that. Love doing it. I said to Michael, we do answer some questions, but the questions mostly were the same answer. They weren't specific to me, and then like your different answers, they were more to do with what we do in the house and that kind of thing. But that one he could have answered, but I think it was over 17 minutes, like highly edited. So I said, oh, I don't need any answers from you. The video's too long. But I said, what would you have said was the weirdest thing you own? And he said, I think I still have my gallbladder. Oh, gallstone. He said, I think I still have my gallstone. I was like, oh, okay. So if any of you guys can think of the weirdest thing you own, that would be really good to know. We're either in the chat now or if you're watching later, put it in the comments. What's the weirdest thing you own? Ashley says, red and gold tassels behind you. What are they for? Well, you were late to the party, wasn't you, Ashley? I said at the beginning, you'll need to replay the video at the beginning. I went into it, how long it's taken me, what they're doing, where they came from, why they're there. Oh, my goodness, Ashley, you'll have to play it back. Oh, Blue still has her gallstones, Mike, but they look like alien buckshot. Yeah, I wanted my appendix when I had my appendix out, and they said, oh, sorry, no, it's so nasty. We had to dispose of it. But yeah, did any of you guys actually see what the weirdest thing was I own? If not, you have to go and watch the video. It's like, I show some things because obviously Dawn has lots of options of weird things that she owns. So I showed a few there, but but wait, is this actually the weirdest thing I own? Blue says, weirdest thing I own, though, is part of a badger's skeleton. Oh, that's cool. I want to see pictures of that, Blue. Did you find that? We've got goat skulls. I've got 2 goat skulls. I didn't put that in the video. Didn't know if people will see that. But then I showed them something probably worse. What, Mike? Yeah, complete with the horns. Jasper says, Janine says, I have a saddle that took me months to find and have never found another pony horse so it fits. Oh, interesting. Goodness. Wow. Yeah, because they're very specific, some types of saddle, aren't they? Goodness. So instead of buying a horse, you say, like Cinderella, whoever this saddle will fit. Goodness. I want to know what Ashley's weirdest thing is he owns. I don't think we'll be surprised. Mike did say me was the weirdest thing he owned. I had to agree. Yeah, I do like questions. So if any of you do want to send me any questions, I'll do these randomly every now and then whenever I get enough questions to make a video. If you want to send me any sort of question, send it anywhere, anyhow, anytime, but put it's for a Q&A, because people keep asking me questions. I'm like, that's a bit random. And then I think, oh, it's probably for a Q&A. So if you ask me a question, I don't answer you, I probably think it's for a Q&A and you haven't said. I'm not ignoring your weird questions. So, yeah, if you want to be in it, and I always do a shout out. I think Blue and Ashley have been in the previous one, if I remember rightly. I think you're both. But you can do another one. You can be in another one. Don't feel shy. So if you've ever got a question, and then if you've seen my Q&As, you'll know that I put question by, and then I put a picture up of you or your channel logo or just whatever. And Janine, that would actually like bring people to your channel. Then if you ask me a question, you can ask more than one question. If you ask me a question, then people go, oh, Jasper Pudding Face, that sounds cool. I'm going to go look at their channel. And I put the link in the video. So it's a good way to grab people without too much effort, methinks. Yeah, I want to know more about this badger's skeleton. Oh, I see you're putting something there. It's part of a badger my friend and I found after hunters didn't kill it properly. Oh, that's awful. So it does with us. And we buried it. I went back 2 years later after a dream and kept some of the bones for my altar. Died, does. Where did I misread that then? Oh, so it died with us and we buried it. Right, I see where it was. So it died with us and buried it. Went back 2 years later after a dream, kept some of the bones of my altar. My second house in England had a big old shed, and there was a badger set under that. Didn't ever get any pictures of badgers, but there was a big badger set underneath that. No, my first house, not my second house, my first house. My first house had a big badger set there. We weren't in the countryside, but there was parks nearby, big parks, but we were in like suburbia. That's really cool. Yeah. Well, talk of animals, what's the weirdest animal or the most rare animal anyone's seen? Actually seen? And we're not talking about in a zoo. Not talking about in a zoo. What's the weirdest animal you've ever seen? Or exotic animal? I think what mine would be. I've been on safaris, but there was nothing weird there. So weird. Oh, I'm going to say, it is a bit weird. I'm going to say a bagworm, because a lot of people don't know what a bagworm is. And when I first saw them here, I didn't know what they were. And they look like kind of a nasty thin caterpillar, and they move like that. But you can only see like part of its head doing that. And the rest of his body, it's actually like it's not a shell. It almost looks like the body's either in a curled up leaf, or more likely like a ear of corn, kind of. And that's like their little nest. I've got a video on it. But they're such a weird thing. They are actually you'll see them if you go looking for them. You won't just see them. They're actually on the pine trees. Let me look up what video it is, in case you wonder. So I'm going to say that because 261. Sorry for saying numbers. That's what video it is. Video 261. This is quite cool how I can do this. I like this now. It was worth the effort of writing it all out. Bagworms, bugs and insects of Cyprus series. What is a bagworm? Filming and information. So let's stick you on there if you're interested. Let's see. Blue says, we used to have platypus in the back creek. Oh, I think they're so cute. Are they? They're not dangerous in any way, are they, Blue? I like their like beaky things. Bills, what do you call them? Bills, beaks, mouths, mouth, stoma, stoma, squeak for mouth, stoma. She says, most useless thing I have, I want to know this, is my Jack Russell Terrier. Catch a rat, she can't catch a cold. Oh, that's mean. That's so mean. Oh, she's not useless. Pickles gives love. That is the best thing you can have. Oh. Has anyone else noticed that Dawn is not waving her hands about? Oh, am I not? Oh, that's cool. Progress. They've got venomous spurs on their legs. Oh, I didn't know that. I tell you what, Ashley. Oh, see, finger there. I tell you what, Ashley, when you go back to watch the beginning to find out what this is, it's nothing to do with Christmas. I had a spoon in my hand and I was doing this all the time, talking to you guys with the spoon. And then I said, oh, don't worry about why I've got a spoon in my hand. And I still haven't explained why I had a spoon in my hand. It's because I was going to be doing some of these while I was talking to you. But see, they've been on my desk for weeks now, thinking I'll get them done while I'm chatting away on the live, but they didn't. And I've also got okra. I wanted to get these ones done as well while I was sitting here. For whoever the recipient might be, they might blooming want seeds, you know. Let's see what else I've got on my weird list. Most things in Australia want you dead. The cuter they are, the more vicious. I was saying about this the other day. The further you go from England away, sort of my direction and beyond, the hotter it gets, but the more deadly it gets, weather and creatures. I couldn't be doing with little spiders in Australia that are really bad, but you can barely see them. At least I can see how deadly things. Well, I say that they will camouflage, but you know, they're not small. They're not small. Not small. Let's see my bugs and insects if there's anything else you don't know. Do you all know mud daubers? I've got a video on mud daubers. I've got a video on hummingbird or hawk moth, and Pebbles loves eating those, and Kit does actually. I got the geometric caterpillar, which you may well know as an inchworm. I've got video of that. I bought some plants in one Easter, and there was one on there, why they call it an inchworm and all that. I've got a video on that. Cicadas, I've got some cool footage of cicadas actually making how they make their noise. I've got a video on that. Cucumber beetle, probably all know those. Millipedes, because my insect videos also tell you how to get rid of these things. Bees, butterflies, hornets. The hornets here are the oriental hornets, and that's what I ended up in hospital getting stung by one of those, and they now tell me I'm highly allergic. I've never been allergic to bee stings or anything like that, but sometimes some things you're stung by, they then say that you're not allergic then because you've got a bit of venom in you. It's like illnesses. They say you can't, once you've had something, you can't have it again, but then other things you have it and it makes other things worse if you get later on. That's all very confusing. Blue says the babies tend not to be anywhere close to the ground. Anything that small will stay up high and away from danger. Oh, right. Okay. I guess it's just being careful when you're clearing out an old shed or something like that. Hornets are different to bees. Yeah. Yeah. But they say, yeah, I'm highly allergic now. They've said if I get stung by oriental hornet now, I have to go straight to hospital. No EpiPens. No EpiPens. Slugs, ants, how to get rid of ants, oriental hornets, there's a whole video on that. Funny enough, it wasn't filming that I got stung. Wasp, bagworms, wood lice, roly-poly, pill bugs, potato bugs, saw bugs, all the same thing. White fly solutions. More cicadas, stick insects, praying mantis, geckos. Yeah, they're my bugs so far, my actual bugs. So many different birds here. So many different birds. Blue says, always wear heavy duty leather gloves and long trousers tucked into socks. Oh, this is for the spiders. And calf-high boots, long sleeves, hair tied up tight. Oh, yeah, spiders in the hair. Mostly these days, I seem to have tree in my hair because I'm doing the olive trees. I always have tree in my hair. Sometimes it doesn't manifest until days later. I brush my hair. I don't know how it stays in my hair. And the strangest thing is, whenever I get undressed at night, there's always olive leaves on the floor. Always. And I'll go in the bedroom, get ready for bed, and Micah go, you've been doing the olive trees today. There's always, or in the bathroom, in the toilet, not in the toilet, in the room, there's always olive leaves. And they're not shoes, it's in my clothes. It's in my clothes. Oh dear. Oh, not just spiders. Oh, thanks. I got stung yesterday, had to pay £2 6 eggs. Oh, nice one, Ashley. Nice one. Ouch, that's bad. Oh dear. That's so funny, Ashley. Oh dear, you're so funny. Blue's finding all the emojis now. Oh dear. Do you know what? I can see it's a scorpion, but look from a distance, it looks like a funky coat hanger or a flamingo gone wrong. Oh, here's Blue with all like what you've got to be careful of. Is that the ducks you have to be careful of? What do we see most here? We won't talk about birds, but I would say geckos everywhere and chameleons quite a lot. I'm quite pleased. I was only joking. Lizards. Yeah, we get tons of different lizards. Should do maybe a video on all different types because we've got so many different lizards and geckos and chameleons and stuff like that. I love the chameleons. I love seeing those. Did you guys ever see the video where I actually filmed one making its noise? I didn't even know they made such a noise. Oh my goodness, he was angry. They are really like violent. And I'd only rescued him. The video shows I'd just thrown, I think, some olive branches over for the goats, and the goats came along. Oh, it was last year when I cut all the trees right back. There was so much of it. I thought, I know I can use the leaves, and I am this year, but I thought there was so much of it. I thought the goats can strip all the leaves off, leave me with the like wood and stumps and whatever. Then I can bring that in and leave it all to dry out for wood. And as I put one lot over, I suddenly saw this. It's only a small one, it's about this long, a chameleon coming back to the fence and sort of hanging around, but the goats were right there. So, and there was olive branches there. So I thought they're going to bite the olive branch and probably eat this chameleon. So I thought I need to grab the camera, but rescue him. So I grabbed the camera because I just started to sort of push him through and he was coming over the fence. I thought, right, he's safe. I'll grab the camera. So I went and grabbed when I had the big camera, went and grabbed that, started filming him, and he's turned around and started to go back towards the goats. And I was like, no. So I can't remember what I do in the film, whether I've got a bit of, I think, a twig or stick or something. And I kind of get him back and put him over this side in the garden. And he's hissing and creating, and he's like... And I thought, well, this is great footage, but I think it's in there. I remember that as I filmed close to him, he suddenly goes for the camera, and I think it's still in there that I sort of jumped back because he's really having a go. And claws, because their great grandmummy was a raptor. We had water monitors and foam as which are related to. Oh, yeah. They're the great big dragons. Don't they eat people in some countries, the really big ones? Oh, they're bacterial bites. Oh, let's see if I can find... Oh, I've just kicked the bin over. Let's see if I can find the one about the chameleon making his noise. So we find it quickly by looking at animals. And then we just have to find, there's so many chameleon videos. Chameleon, goat, chameleon shredding its skin. That's quite a good one. There's the one making the noise. Yes, what noise does a chameleon make? Right, 298. 298. Where's my mouse gone? Word doc. 298. Takes longer to scroll the more videos I make. Copy. Pastage. There. So if anyone's interested, occasionally I watch my own videos, only for the fact I might say something like that and then think, yeah, what was it? What happened? And then I have to go and watch it. But I do it on, you know, when you click on my channel, so it's not that it counts as a view. You know, when you go in YouTube in your channel, if you watch on that, it doesn't count. Ashley said, hissing, creating, snarling, we can make his dinner. Gone, it's not foam. Oh, your phone's drunk. Did I even notice? I don't think I noticed. I don't sometimes notice. I just read the wrong words anyway. Oh, dear. So let me just see what we have been posting. Because I get so mixed up what I'm working on and what's actually gone out. And sometimes someone comments on a video and I'm like, oh, I posted that, did I? I don't know what I've posted and what I'm working on. Where are we up to last? I did my video of how to clean the silver jewellery. This is on Tranquility channel. And as Blind Neil gave me a lot of info to his way of cleaning stuff, I thought I'd do an experiment and I'd clean it. I'd found my bit of paper where, you know, I'd said, I'm waving my hands around now, Ashley's watching. I did my bit of paper, found my bit of paper where I knew I'd done it some way but couldn't remember how. So I did that version and then I did Blind Neil's version. I did them side by side and I thought that would make a really great video, two really great ideas, and see if one works better than the other or not. Well, some of it was more dirty than others. I thought, well, I'll put that in my version. And then disaster ensued. In fact, two disasters ensued. So if you want to look at that, that's on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So that's the last one I posted on there. And prior to that, I don't know where I was up to going through my videos, but I did another story of Life of a Gingerbread Man. So if you want just fun videos, do watch that series. And the story continues all the time. You can watch them all separately, but it makes a bit more sense of his life if you know what's happened to him previously. And seeing as the last one prior to that was his wedding and honeymoon, it made total sense that the next video that I've just posted was We Made Gingerbread. So if you want a bit of fun, do go and check out that series. And then on this channel, I don't know where I got up to chatting with you about them. We did the Omedos Village, the third part. I think I talked about that one, where I show you the medieval wine press, the monastery, glassworks, and the local houses there. All right, Ashley, nice to see you. Thanks for making me laugh. Then I posted another walk. I've got quite a lot of walks sitting there. So every now and then you'll go and get a walk. Ooh, the light went again. That's Ashley going, turned the light out as he went. So I did a walk, and this is walk J. Walk to the edge of the pine forest with 2 encounters with goats, baby lambs, and funny we're talking about spiders, the spider's funnel web. So I've got a great picture of that. Then I posted goats, very pregnant sheep, and more goats. So if you want to see sheep literally when they're as full in their belly as they can possibly be, that's a video for you. Then I did my Meet the Cats video. I've already talked about that today. So I did my Meet the Cats because some people aren't aware how many cats I have. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of all the 4 cats, their names, what they all look like, and you can see their personalities a bit. So I thought you might like that. Okay, thanks for coming, Blue, and thanks for all your moderating. Thanks a lot. So you can see all the 4 cats, what they look like, what they're like. So I thought that was quite handy. I keep meaning to do a video of all of them so everyone knows their names. And then today I posted another one of my out and about in Cyprus videos, and I did pictures of the port area in Limassol. It's quite beachy. Obviously, it's a big port there. That's our main port in Cyprus. But it's very beachy, touristy. There's the castle there. There's a museum there. There's shops. A great place there. You see the sign for it. Actually says St Andrew's Street, but it's in Greek. There's a nice little shopping area where you can buy your souvenirs, tablecloths, authentic things there, belts, leather bags, those kind of things. Lots of cafes, restaurants, lots of places to see there. It's a really good area. You can get top restaurants there that you all know, local Cypriot restaurants, little bars, places to go round the back streets. I also show there the bike hire. We've got those systems here. I think a lot of countries have them now, where you can literally pay for a bike at a bike park, ride it anywhere, drop it off at any bike park. And I've got the prices of those really cheap. And here they have lots of cycle paths made separate from the road. So you're not riding on the road on a cycle area. It's separate from the road. And you've got a promenade as well. And I walked through some gardens there, a bit more of the municipal gardens and the promenade. So quite a lot to see there. And there's also something I really like there. I think a lot of countries have them now. They're outside keep fit machines outside, and all free to use, obviously. But the thing I love best about it is there's a huge area of these workout machines that are for disabled and obviously wheelchair accessible. So they're lower machines. They've got, you know, when you park and they have the blue painted parking places with the disabled signs in, well, these are at the machines that are wheelchair friendly. So obviously any disabilities can use them, but they are made the height that you can be in a wheelchair and do pull-ups and things like that. And there's so many of them there. And I've actually done the sign I photographed that said when they got donated and put there. So that's very good to have. And there's also a sculpture park. It's all free. Most things in Cyprus are free. I think castles and things like that, you pay about €2 to go in. A lot of places are totally free. The places of interest that are expensive are things like what I call touristy, silly things, as in water parks and zoos, things like that. But what I call the cultural and the history places, ancient ruins, they're either free or literally €2-3 to go in. So that's something very good about Cyprus. That being said, if you're a resident here, you don't pay the high prices for water parks. You can either get a year discount card, or you get a very cheap rate anyway, same as the top hotels. If we were to go to a hotel, we get it for an absolute fraction of the price. You have to show your Cyprus ID card in order to do that. So obviously people can't just say it. And not all hotels participate, but they do a list so you can see which ones are. So obviously people want to get on that list. It's not just out of season, but some do take part only out of season. But we went to, when we first came out here and lived at this house, my cousin came out and got married, and I think we paid literally, let's say, €10 for the two of us to stay in a good hotel opposite where he was getting married, which included breakfast, a really big breakfast. So that gives you a bit of an idea. And also, as you know, me and Mike got married out here. The hotel grounds, we actually got married on a pier here that belongs to the hotel, and a chapel that belongs to the hotel. So it wasn't a hotel wedding, but the hotel we stayed in, it was a 5-star, and because we were residents here, all our guests, as long as they booked it through us, they paid less than a third to stay at the hotel because we were residents and it was our wedding. So we didn't actually tell them it was going to be less because they obviously would have had to have paid. We couldn't afford to pay for everyone, but we said we will get a small discount for you, but we gave them the total price because at that point we didn't know what the reduction was. And we said we will get a small reduction for you. And we wanted them to come because they wanted to come, not because it was a cheap holiday. And when they went to pay their bill, they were all like saying, is this right? It's so low. And as I say, it was less than a third of the full bill for a 5-star hotel. So they were really pleased. I said, yay, you've made our special day. So this is our thank you back to you, basically. So that was pretty cool. Well, I've been on nearly 2 hours now, which was longer than I expected to. I've had such a great time today. Obviously, very good news about the cat. And I hope to get back to all your channels soon. Now I'm a bit more myself again. Thank you so much for being here. Anyone who is able to donate, I will be so grateful to you. And thank you very much for that. I understand fully if you can't, because I can't afford to donate to anything. But as I said before in the thread, even €1 each person would make a huge difference. The PayPal is under this video and at the top of the chat. So if you can, thank you very much to pay for the vet bill. And until next time, Meraki.